Stop trying to be the hero of the story. The customer's the hero. We're just the guide. We're just the facilitator here. So stop trying to be the hero. They are the hero. And you make that shift, you're going to see a dramatic difference in how your business builds and delivers.
Welcome to Connect to Market. I'm Casey Cheshire. Join us as we learn from marketing leaders who are driving founder-led growth. We're sponsored by Ringmaster, building B2B podcasts and communities to reconnect you with your audience. Here it freaking is. Let's go. I'm excited. We hit the button, and that means the train has left the station. I can't wait to introduce my guest today, fellow community member. Shout out to Connect to Market. Shout out to all the community, the round table, all of that. This is one of your very own, straight from a breakout session, probably. You might have been on a session with him or not. And if not, you'll probably want to be after hearing this conversation. I can't wait to get into it. Why? He even told me before we even hit record, hey, it's not so much the B2B, the B2C, it's P2P, man. It's people to people. And he's very empathetic, full stack, data-driven marketing leader, thought leader, B2B SaaS wizard, AI enthusiast, expert, dare I say, advisor to the stars, loves the idea of scaling businesses through that intersection of the AI, of the tech, and the people, the humanity. That's why he's here. That's why he's in the community. Decades of experience, founder of the Rainshine Foundation, which we will get into, vice president of marketing and partnership at EZO, Rob Freedman. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, Casey, thanks for having me. I'm very excited for today's show.
Yeah, man. Dude, you do a lot. So I'm excited to get into this thing. And now I got to put on my giant foam finger and ask you this question. Rob, tell me, what is the number one thing that marketers need to do in order to connect to their market?
Listen. And no, I mean, I'm serious. Like, marketers need to stop talking, start listening, and every great campaign, every product story, every brand movement starts with a customer story. And if you're not listening, you're just broadcasting.
Starts with a customer story.
Yeah.
Now, that makes me wonder, are we talking sort of generically about customer stories, or is this like a thing you do and create and listen and learn?
This is an iterative process that you do hand in hand with your customers to really get to know them. This is not some generic AI thing that based on your ICP profile. This is really digging in and listening.
Man, you know what? Hearing that to my marketing ears is like when you're a kid and you hear that ice cream truck coming down the neighborhood. You go, man, that sounds really good. That sounds really tasty. Even tastier than a SpongeBob ice pop. I want to dive into this thing. Why don't you think more people listen? Why do we even have to get on a pod and tell people listen? What are we doing? Why are we talking so much?
Yeah. I mean, it's because it's hard. I mean, frankly, it takes a lot of time. And especially in B2B, you're moving so fast. There's a lot of external pressures to deliver pipeline as quick as possible. And to say, well, hold on, I need to go have a dozen conversations with people. Sometimes that doesn't go over well. So I think it gets skipped or it gets a cursory glance. But to the depth that it's really needed for true brand building and product building success, I think it's underutilized.
Man. Okay. It's fair. So I was about to just judge all of our compadres, but hey, it takes time and it's hard, but we got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to dig in. We got to dive in. So, how do you like to approach it?
I mean, I've got like my top 5 list. Let's call it 5,
Let's go.
strategies that I like to use for B2B marketing. And real quick, it's mining the customer stories. Then it's empathy-led interviews, not surveys. Number 3, I'd say turn customer champions into your storytellers. They're going to be your evangelists. Number 4, internal alignment on what you've heard. So now you got to actually do something internally with it. And then the 5th measure engagement, not just volume. It's not just the number of stories and people you talk to, but that engagement with those stories. So those are the 5 ways. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, I think the podcast is done. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, no problem. Pleasure.
Right now, everyone's screaming, "Don't you dare let him out of here." All right, mining. Let's get to that first one. Are we in Minecraft? Do we have our stone pickaxe and we're looking for coal? What's going on here?
Yeah, gotta get down to the netherite.
That's
All right.
right. Let's get to it.
Can you tell I've got a 5-year-old who loves Minecraft?
Right? Hey, if you have a son in your family, then you probably have you mined with him?
Her actually, yeah.
Oh, with
So
her?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. My daughter's in
she's
there too.
she's got some really cool builds going on. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, you need to spend time with your customers outside of sales calls, and you got to be on those support calls. You got to be on onboarding calls. Set up user groups. Use different you know mastermind groups, and
Yeah.
what you're going to do is you're looking for those authentic anecdotes that reveal pain points. You got to look for wins in the customer story, and sometimes you need to lead them there. So sometimes you need to bring in some of your own product, platform, database, analytics into it and say, hey, did you know that your team is doing X, Y, Z? 'Cause sometimes the champion person you're speaking with doesn't fully understand the depth of how their team is utilizing the
Mm,
product.
yeah.
And so helping them reveal the wins that they may not even realize, and then really think about the language customers are naturally using. Cause that's something else I've noticed in interviews like, wait, so Easio, we do construction, equipment rental and asset management and maintenance. And first time I heard yellow iron over and over and over in the term the slab, which is the work site. I was like, "Oh, we need to be integrating this language that's unique to them."
Yeah. What is yellow iron?
Yeah, it's those big yellow machines like the diggers, the excavators, the bulldozers. They called the yellow iron, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
That's
now
cool.
I get it." Yeah,
And where did you hear that?
from a customer story.
There it is, right? Like otherwise that's not popping up in your research, right? Like you have to get out there and talk to
You
someone
gotta talk to them.
or to your point, listen, right?
You gotta shake their hand, ask them how their day's going, what's going on, and listen to the words that they're using. You're like, "These are the words we need to be using."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yellow iron. Time to get on the slab. Okay, so and I love how you mentioned you gotta spend time outside of the sales calls. Like, hey, if you got Gong, you got an AI recorder, fantastic to listen to sales calls. That's always a good thing. But especially like it's a certain kind of conversation happening on those calls. It's almost adversarial sometimes if sales isn't totally, you know, thinking
Mhm.
about the right way to do it. So you gotta have those other moments that aren't that weird game of sales, right? Where it's a little bit more open and free. And
And that's like the one thing AI can't do is go out and shake your hand yet. They can't go out and build an authentic relationship at the job site or at a conference or at an industry meetup type event. That's the authentic connection that you can make that you
yeah.
can't get through AI yet.
Yeah, so true. Can't shake your hand yet.
No, although they're working
Even if it did, be kinda weird.
a little awkward, but But, and I think and this is where I go into, like, my the second thing, which is empathy, leading with empathy in these interviews,
Yeah.
instead of just relying on NPS surveys. Yes, NPS score, definitely
Yeah.
something you should be doing, you should be running those tests, but and instead of just running these like short, hosted, open-ended interviews, you really need to start asking the right questions, such as, well, what's harder than it should be in your day to day? Like
Yeah.
like, bam, that's a pain point. And you ask them like, what is that PETA? What is that pain in your life that is way harder? And you just listen to them and let them go and ask and then unpack that a little further. You put on your therapist hat for a
Right.
moment for them. And then you know what solution you need to build or deliver, or, because that's what's going to have the highest value for them.
Right. Right. That makes total sense. All right. So you spend that time outside of the sales world, you're getting those conversations, you're doing your mining. Talk to me about the empathy. Cause I even, we were chatting and you're like, yeah, I'm a empathetic marketer. And I love that, and what does that mean to you?
For me, it's, and I got this from my parents really growing up, is they were both politically active in our town in Vermont. And I would see them interact and be empathetic with voters from a very broad spectrum, like from the barn to the boardroom, and, being able to make connections with them and understanding their needs from their unique perspective, and then finding solutions that actually can work for a multitude of people, for everybody. And that's what made them successful in what they were doing, serving the community. And really, we're doing that as B2B marketers. We are trying to find a way for us to better serve our communities and our customers. And in doing so, the only way to do it right is to walk in their shoes, to understand, to be in the trenches with them.
I mean, other than just you're a nice guy, do you just, is this something you can learn and grow, or is this?
I think in you have to have an innate interest in others.
Yeah,
So I think that has to be there, but you can train yourself
right.
to listen. You can train yourself to stop talking and to sit down with somebody and hear what they have to say. It in asking questions. And that's where like AI can be helpful. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm about to have an interview or a meeting with, here's the profile of it is. Help me come up with a few questions I could ask to help jumpstart the conversation. That's a good place for AI, is on the brainstorming, the prep work
yeah,
for it. And then that can help you. So if you're not naturally curious and a talker, then something like that can help you or your team, someone on your team do that. And then usually I've always find that someone on customer success or someone on the sales team is so good at that stuff. Like we've got some great people on customer success team that I just love listening to their calls or being a part of their call because they're able to pull these things out. I got
hmm,
a product marketer. She's great at this. Like she's innately empathetic, gets it, super intelligent, and and we just recently promoted her. I mean, she's great, and when she's on these calls, she pulls that out of people because people just open up to her,
yeah,
and it's like, so you find the right person on your team and try to like match make the personalities of the prospect or the customer that you're speaking to with someone on your team who you think they're going to resonate with, and you're going to
yeah,
get what you need.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's so important to put ourselves in their shoes. And also, I think it feels better as a marketer to do that, doesn't it? We're not all working for the Peace Corps, right? But
Right.
if you can put yourself in their shoes and you can help that person out, because if you can know what it feels like to have the pain and the problem, you also can know what it feels like to have it solved.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is for marketers to realize that they need to stop being trying to be the hero of the story. The customer's the hero. We're just the guide. We're just the facilitator here. So stop trying to be the hero. They are the hero. And you make that shift, you're going to see a dramatic difference in how your business builds and delivers.
Yeah. Be Yoda, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're not, or Darth Vader, but you're not Luke. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not Luke and Leia. Come on.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
You are helping guide them.
Yeah.
That's a really good point about that transformation from, who is the hero, right? If you, at
Yeah.
least if you're clear on that. By the way, it feels better not being the hero. Actually feels better being the guide because you're contributing, you're helping someone as opposed to just being, oh no, look at me.
Well, and what else is gonna happen is it helps them become that evangelist,
Hmm.
promoter, for you and your business, because when you help somebody, so if it's either you help a business owner, you're straight at the top of the CEO, business owner, founder, that you're helping them solve a big problem, man, you're helping them save their baby, make their passion, their work better. Or if you're helping like a new director or VP person and come in and be the hero in their organization,
Yep.
that's great. Guess what? They're going to tell everybody in their circle who has similar pain points, go talk to Ezio, go talk to whoever, go talk to these guys. They're the ones who helped me do X. And now things are better for it.
Yeah. You know what? And look at you, you son of a gun. Look at you transition to that next point on your list of turning them into champions. What a
Well,
professional segue that was, sir.
well, I think when you're co-creating with them,
Yeah.
those case studies, having them on webinars, at a previous place I worked, we'd even uh, bring them to conferences and do on stage deep dives with the
Mm,
customer and have the customer tell the story right there in front of the audience. And that really helps turn your customer champions into these storytellers because and when you amplify their voice instead of just pushing out your own brand messaging, what are you going to listen to? You're going to
right.
take their word for it more than mine. I'm a
Right.
marketer. You know,
Right.
sometimes people think marketers and lawyers have a lot in common, and it's, but if you take it from the authentic voice of the customer who can tell that story, that's going to connect more. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about the connection.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it really does. And it'll resonate. It'll connect.
Yeah.
What do you get wrong? What do people get wrong about internal about champions?
They, I think first thing to get wrong is sometimes you also forget that they have a day-to-day job. Their job is not to promote you and your business and where you sometimes I think companies might uh overinflate how important they are. And
Hmm.
it's like, look, you got to work with them. You got to give them something for it.
Right.
You've got to make sure that they're feeling that there's like, hey, this can be a win-win for you and your social media or you and your company's promotion for you, helps with your SEO. It helps, like, you got to show how it is a win-win scenario, not just a one-sided win. I think that's one thing people can like abuse the storytellers.
Yeah, like nice people, but like, how are you helping them out for them being such an awesome,
Right.
champion of you? Like,
Yeah.
get them a dang T-shirt or something,
Exactly. It's a little swag goes.
or help their career out. Give them some collateral or something that
Yep.
they can use.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a ton
Yeah.
of sense. Okay.
And then like the last thing is making sure you show them how you've leveraged what you've learned from them. That's the one thing, is closing that feedback loop. So they give you good feedback. They're your champion. They give you feedback. Make sure you show them, hey, thanks for doing the testimonial. Thanks for doing the webinar. Want to let you know that feedback you had on a product or, a feature or a solution, it's coming out in the next sprint, or it's kind of, letting them know
Right.
that the new thing that you're going to see in the product is a directly tied to the feedback they gave. People love to be listened to, and
Yes.
that also pumps them up. Like, they're like, wow, you heard me. You heard me and you took action. And now when that new feature rolls out, I know where it came from. It came from me.
I mean, that's pretty neat, right?
Yeah,
If you're the one that drove that,
exactly.
letting them know that they did.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the external side. Tell me about the internal alignment.
This is probably the other difficult part. So what we do is we have these learning circles for our different products, and where we do here is we market. Every, it's got members of every department on there, from dev and product and sales and marketing and partnerships, and everybody's on there. And what it is each team takes a turn sharing some learnings about the industry, about the ICPs, and then this is the perfect time for us to share the voice of the customer.
Yeah.
And that is the way for us to make sure that these things are internalized and actually go beyond just vanity metrics, that they actually translates, not like, oh, well, we completed 10 customer stories this quarter. Woohoo. You know,
Yep.
actually taking that and translating it into action and making sure that this new knowledge and wherever the key takeaways were get into the right people's hands, like,
Hmm.
product team, the dev team, sales team, so, and customer success, so they all get to benefit from it. So you got to build a mechanism. So we've got Slack channels dedicated to this. We've got the monthly learning circles dedicated to this. It's really helpful.
Tell me more about those monthly learning sessions you were talking about.
Yeah, so it's not always marketing. Dev shares their insights that they're seeing. Product does on and runs. Hey, we've seen this, and
Yeah.
we're changing and redesigning things. Customer success, I love their presentations because they talk about. We're very fortunate. We have a very low churn here, and
Wow.
getting their customer success team's feedback on what's resonating, the conversations they're having as they're supporting our customers, and like feature requests, things like that are coming up time and time again. Those yeah, we have some really great deep conversations during these. And
Mm.
we just rotate who's presenting. Yeah.
How long?
They're about an hour. They're about an hour long.
Lower.
But they all, you get really rolling with some topics, they'll run over and everyone's just moving all the rest of the meeting. So, but yeah, I'd say they're about an hour.
Oh, that's good. But I mean, that's a great investment internally to, as I can see why you'd have resulting low churn too.
Yep. Yeah. Well, when you listen, it helps.
Yeah. Back to listening again, right? Now we're just listening internally.
Yep. And listening to each other and removing those silos between the different teams. So you
Yeah.
don't have knowledge just building up. It's not just marketing. It's like got all this customer and ICP data, but we don't share it with the dev team. How are they supposed to know what they're building if they feel in product team? They don't know what we're hearing. And if sales and customer success, who are on the front lines of everything,
Right.
day to day, aren't getting the feedback to product, how can they make things better or
Right.
improve it or change it? So it's that breaking down the silos effect.
Right. Wow. Wow. Um, I guess when it comes down to it, the buck stops. Number 5 is measurement, right? It's
Yeah.
like,
What's it doing?
is it working?
Does listening mean, you know, what does it mean for you and your company? And I think, going beyond those vanity metrics to see which stories translate into referrals, which
Right.
stories get engagement, rank well for SEO and GEO and AEO and all the new LLMs. Uh,
Right.
what's driving pipeline velocity for the sales team? What's helping with retention conversations for the success team? So measuring those different metrics help you decide which stories need to be told, which ones you need more of, and how you can continue to build the value of that social proof.
And what's great is because you've done all this internal alignment, you've listened to stories, and you've even mentioned that you're not tricked and trapped by the vanity metrics.
You try
You
not
know,
to. I mean,
you try not to. You
you
try,
try not
yeah.
to.
This is so good. It's a great framework. There's 5 of them. I'm sure the community is going to just really dig this. Eat it up. It's like a 5-course meal. Boom. There we go. Hey, what are your thoughts on the community? You been to
I'm
some
loving these.
chats? Yeah.
I mean, I gotta tell you, the breakout sessions. I mean, you always bring in good people to start things off, and some great talks. Just this month was fantastic. This week, but where I get a lot of values in the small breakouts, where we get to dig deeper and have like conversation with like 4 other marketers who, maybe we've got top of the funnel issues we need to discuss, or maybe we've got a
Yeah.
common problem with how do you increase your visibility on LLMs and things like that. And we're having those talks. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you've been bringing together a lot of good people.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, you're one of them. So, Yeah, the breakouts, I enjoy those too. It's bouncing things off of other people,
Yeah.
and it's really,
And
you
it's a
know
small group because I
yeah,
find some larger, like, mastermind groups, it's you get 20, 30 people on a call, no one wants to talk. No
right.
one wants to really share authentically there, it's
And whoever does usually shouldn't be talking,
yeah, and they
Well,
they feel like, well, that person's dominated everything, and yeah,
yeah.
and then you feel like you're just piling on just to be heard, and but when you get, like, 4 of us on a in the breakout Zooms, those are great.
Yeah, no, I love that too. Absolutely. Well, next question really is like, who are you? Who are you, man? Like, all these things, you got some great experience. You're able to convey it simply and effectively. Take me back in time, little Rob days. Did you know you're going to be marketing leader, thought leader to the stars? What was it like?
Yeah, right. I did not know that at all. In fact, I started in education. I was, so little Rob,
Yeah.
thought he was gonna be I think I was showing my kids my old yearbook, and, like, in
Okay.
8th grade, I said I was gonna be a geographer. I was like, "Wow, that
Wow.
changed." And then,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So, I thought I was gonna be, probably a teacher or something, and got my start in education. So,
Right.
but definitely not marketing. And so I
Right.
started, working as a teacher in Oak Park, Illinois, and then later in Chicago. And then I think that experience has shaped how I think about people and communication over time, I realized what I really loved was helping people connect with ideas.
Mhm.
And with the help of a really great friend, I got pulled into marketing, and I'm very thankful for him and the opportunity he gave me when my teaching career came to an end. And, you know, teaching and marketing really aren't all that different.
Tell me about that.
Well, they both start with listening and then understanding your audience and then guiding them in a meaningful way to a goal. Now, with students, you got to understand what resonates with your students, how to connect with your students. Because if you don't connect with them, they're not going to be learning. That's your audience, and guiding them to the goal of achieving certain benchmarks throughout the school year. Same thing in marketing, whether it's B2C or B2B marketing, whichever it is, you're connecting with an audience, which takes listening, in my opinion, and then guiding them on a pathway to finding the right solution, which just so happens to be whatever you're selling, the right solution to fit their needs. And if you're especially in the B2B world, you want them to find the right solution, whether it's yours or not, because you don't want churn. I mean, for all the pain and all the negativity that can come from that. You want happy customers, low churn, really sticky, and people who turn into your cheerleaders and evangelists. So it's like, yeah, I want to be that consultant. I want to guide them and to the end. So yeah, I mean that's how I got my start into marketing was not the plan from the beginning.
No. Yeah, wow. Oh, man. Um, but what a cool metamorphosis and journey and path to get you to where you're at now.
It's been
Um,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, not without its surprises.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Yep.
And but like, um, I guess my next question is a bit of a hypothetical question, if you're ready for this.
Okay.
You see, I may or
Right.
may not have a time machine up here in New Hampshire. So you come visit, doing a customer event in Boston and get that yellow iron, but come on up and it's in the backyard covered in a tarp. And so it's a particular kind of time machine where you get a chance to go visit yourself and see yourself a couple days after getting that political science degree back in the day.
Oh,
What do you tell yourself? What kind of things would you share?
this is well, I would tell myself back then, and this actually has little to do with marketing directly. It's more like a life advice thing.
Yeah.
Mm, when you know you're right, stick to your guns and follow, like, know what you're worth and stick to your guns. When you are sure of something, push for it. Don't don't be so easily talked out of things.
Yeah. Do you think younger you would listen to that?
Probably not, but at least I could say I told it.
I told you,
I
man, you
told
didn't
you,
listen.
man.
Bro.
But yeah, I think there's definitely times in both in personal life and in professional life when, yeah, sometimes I've been allowed a boss or somebody to talk me out of an idea, and it
Mhm.
turned out my idea actually would have been pretty good,
Would've
and
been
it
pretty.
probably would have helped, but I didn't have that self confidence. Maybe it's all about that. At earlier, now I do. Now I'm pushy.
Well, now you're the boss, and you have to be pushy and advocate for your team and for your company.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that pushiness, yeah, makes you wonder how do you get that? How do you get that? You just fake it till you make it maybe, or
Or I think it comes from you have to be able to have self reflection, and you got to take the
Mm,
time and sit back and be like, okay, look at the key wins that you've had and
yep,
why you won, and then break down and analyze areas where you've lost and why did you lose. And you might note, hey, when I do XYZ, when I do this, when I stick to my guns and bring more data into the conversation, I win, which is probably why I became such a data-driven marketer before it was really cool to be a data-driven marketer 15, 20 years ago.
yeah,
Uh, and
yeah,
and I think part of it was because I realized that's how I could get my ideas across and get the budgets approved for big risks and bigger things, and that panned out. And because I noticed there's times when, oh, things fizzled. Well, they fizzled because I didn't push for them. I didn't
right,
give them the love and attention and the drive that they needed. So those ideas just died on the vine, and it's on
yeah,
me. It's not on my boss. That's on me.
yeah, yeah, but, that's a good muscle. It's a good muscle to practice on, and that's always the question is when to push, but I guess until and that's why you brought the data. Until the data says otherwise, let's give this a shot, or even have, like,
Exactly. It's
have a testing budget in the mix so you
like,
can
I'm
you
always happy to be proven wrong. I never pretend that I am the one that has all the answers or the smartest person in the room. It so I'm happy to be proven wrong by anyone on my team at any time. And I think being open to other ideas also is helpful.
Yeah,
And then I go and champion that idea. Then I become their champion with their idea and make sure their good idea doesn't die on the vine just because it counters what I thought should happen.
right, right. Okay. Man. Well, dude, I can't let you out of here without this final question about the rumor is that you roast your own coffee. Now, the rumor also is that I drink coffee, and that rumor is confirmed, but, like, I've never done the whole roasting thing. Does it improve the coffee? Do you get, like, just
I
does it
think
make
it does. I
better?
think
Yeah, you get control over that.
for me, it blends my it's I think it's my artistic release because I'm not like my wife and some of my friends who are really good at like artistic pursuits and very creative. My creativity comes out of that and exploring what different, beans from different origins at different roast levels and different ways of treating the beans can really have a dramatic different impact and outcome. And yeah, it's fun to have that kind of control and that creative outlet.
So for someone who's never roasted anything coffee bean related, um, what do I do? Where do I start? Or is there a certain formula I should just want to keep in mind? Best practice? Like, what do you recommend? Noob, total noob.
Yeah, I mean, at first, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go down the route I did. I built my own like roasting rig thing. I
Wow.
kind of put together this Rube Goldberg thing that roasts the beans. But so maybe just buy one from Amazon or wherever.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great groups on Reddit and Facebook groups on home roasting to start with, and it's such a good community too. I think that's the other thing that
Mm,
attracted me to it is everyone's so very helpful. And they're like, well, how do you like your coffee? Like for me, I'm a pour over nut. I have like I have an X Bloom machine that does like automatic pour overs
Ah,
because I'm too lazy to hold the kettle and do it like this.
well, of course.
I have a
Why would
machine
you?
that grinds it and pours it in. I'm busy. I got things to do. But
Yeah,
uh, like on the weekend, it's a nice meditative practice. But day to day, I need X Bloom to do it for me.
totally.
And I like, so for me, it's a pour over. I like light to medium roast coffees. But for someone else who's like, I love espresso and like different espresso machines, they got their Pavoni or whatever, they're going to want it something that's more darker roast or and has different characteristics than what I would like. And so that's the other thing I like about coffee is it's almost like wine. It's there's something for everybody, and there really aren't wrong, you know, what tastes good is good. You have to have
Right.
quality. If it tastes good to you, then it is good coffee. Because a lot of people I get asked, like, "Well, what's a good coffee?" I'm like, "I can't answer that for you. I can tell you what I think, but
Yeah, no, but like, hey, there it is. If you enjoy it, well done. Yeah, good stuff. Where can people reach out if they want to connect with you? Social platforms, all that. LinkedIn?
LinkedIn's good. It's LinkedIn. Rob Freedman. I actually have, my own name on there, so easy to find.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. And then we'll put all the links in the show notes. People can kind of click on through to that. And if you do click on through, don't be a weirdo. Say, hey, I heard you on the pod, or hey, I'm in
Please
the
do.
community too, so we have got a little source, information here, fellow marketers, right? You marketers don't let marketers, you know,
I need
chat without knowing the lead source.
I need
So
that attribution data.
you
Thank
need
you.
attribution data. Thank you.
Exactly. Or multi-touch attribution, whatever the challenge may be.
Exactly. So with that, dude, Rob, thank you so much for coming on here. I mean,
Right.
this was like a master class here. I've enjoyed this. We
Me
talked
too.
about all the different ways that we get those customer stories, and it started out by just listening. Gosh, so many great points. Some to-dos I wanna implement, and I just wanna find the next construction worker so I can talk about yellow iron. I mean, this was great, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. For those listening, if you learned something, and I freaking know you did, because I literally have 2 pages of notes over here, front and back,
That's awesome.
then share this with someone, right? Who needs to hear this? The empathetic leadership, but also understanding, putting yourself in their shoes, and that can help turn them into champions. So much good stuff. Share this with someone else. And with that, Rob, thank you again.
Thanks. Have a good one.
All right, everyone. This has been a crazy cool, very exciting episode of the Connect to Market Pod. We will see you all next time. And that wraps up another episode. Thank you for joining. For show notes and other episodes, visit us at connecttomarket.com. Connect to Market is sponsored by Ringmaster, creating podcasts and communities that create relationships, generate revenue, and drive growth.